Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We're here. So today's video we're going to be talking about working and going to school. So a little background story. In undergrad I did not have to work and go to school. I did have a full ride in undergrad, so I didn't have anything to pay for or anything like that. So of course, me being the only child and being very fortunate enough that my parents were able to send me money, I had the opportunity not to have to work in undergrad to live life. So that just is not the case for this degree. I did end up working during this degree. I want to say pretty much when I started. First quarter I didn't work, but by the second quarter I was definitely working by second quarter for sure. And so I just want to talk to you guys about working and going to school and how that worked out for me. So the first job that I had down here was at Woodhouse Day Spa in Dunwoody. It is in the Perimeter Mall. It's actually like a full-blown spa in the mall. Didn't even know it existed. Really was just on Indeed applying to jobs, and I want to say I applied that day and she called me and asked me if I could come in that day for an interview, and I'm like, sure, I'm not doing anything. So I went up there for an interview, got hired on the spot pretty much. It was great. And so I only worked on the weekends, so I only worked Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And really it was like Friday nights because I did have class on Fridays for the most part. So after class on Fridays, then all day Saturday, all day Sunday. And this was, I worked there from 2018 to 2020. Because I was still working there when the pandemic hit and everything shut down. And so I had to get into the groove of figuring out when on earth I was going to be able to study versus, you know, when I'm actually at work. So I did have like flashcards for a lot of it, and I brought some flashcards with me. So while I was at work, if I was like bored at work, I'll bust out the flashcards, do some front and back flashcards, learn that way. Also Quizlet was online and we had computers at work, so bored, hop on Quizlet, do a quiz or two, and just make sure that I'm still on top of my studies. Now of course that did bring a lot of late nights. Oh god, it brought so many late nights, because even though, you know, it was still the weekend, yay, weekend party, whatever. After I got off work, I still needed to study. I needed to make sure that I'm reviewing this information, know the information, so on and so forth, and then still get enough sleep to go to work on Saturday morning. And it was a lot of back and forth. And then while that was a great job, loved the job, had no problem with the job, the only reason I started looking for a new job is just because I wanted something in the field. And so I applied to the Joint Chiropractic, and I did end up getting a front desk position at the Joint. And so that brought so many great things, guys. Oh my goodness. Granted, I was very skeptical because my interview for the Joint, the person that called me and set up the interview was different from the person that actually interviewed me. And so when I went to the clinic to get interviewed, the lady was like, I didn't know I had an interview today. I guess, yeah, okay. And I'm just like, how did she not know she had an interview today? But okay. So we did the interview and everything. And then the lady that set up my interview called me back once to apologize for how the other lady acted. She was like, she did know she had an interview. I don't know why she was acting like that. I'm really sorry about that. Please disregard that completely. And then offered me the job. And then I just let her know, you know, the days that I would be able to work. and so on and so forth. And they were very flexible. And so I stayed at the joint for 2 years, because I started there in 2020. Oh, it would be 2 years in August, but I did leave in June. So it would have been 2 years in August. But the joint was really great, mainly more so for the doctors that I got to work with. That was absolutely awesome. Since the joint has like a bunch of doctors that are in and out of the clinic, they were all, one, surprised that I was working while in school. They're like, you're still in school right now and you're working? Like, you're doing both? And I'm like, yeah, I need some money. Like, guys, yeah, the refund is taking care of the main bills, but after that, I would like to have some money in my account. That would be great. They're like, oh, okay. So talking to them, they'd help out with homework here and there, and it's just like getting a better understanding of what the field's gonna entail. What does it look like working for the joint as a doctor? Like, I can visually see that versus hearing an interview over what you'll be doing and everything. I can actually see, like, okay, so there are days they might adjust 100 people in a day, and that's a lot of people, but at least now I know, like, hey, that's actually a thing. It's actually an option. Like, luckily I was able to work with some doctors that didn't mind being open with me about like pay and everything. So they told me how pay worked. Like, they had an hourly option versus a salary option, and then what's the difference between the two and things like that. So it was very, 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 very grateful that I was able to get that opportunity while in school. But balancing out studying, going to work, and sleep, it's difficult, to be honest. It's very difficult. However, it's very doable. If you need to go to work while you're in school, it's extremely doable. You just have to have a set schedule for yourself. Know what hours you're going to work. Write those down. Great. Now I need to do this, and this, because I have these classes going up. Like, me and my friend Taylor, on the Sunday before the quarter started, we used to have syllabus Sunday, where we'd go through all of our syllabi, all of our syllabi, and write down when all the test dates were, when the quizzes were, and that way we know. So you know on your calendar, hey, I have a test, a quiz this day, this is what this looks like. So that you also know while you're working, hey, I have such and such on Monday, so I need to be studying this. I do think personally that it's easier to have a desk job when in this program, just because there are times during the desk job where you're able to, find some time to study. It's just easier to study when you're sitting down versus like waitressing and things like that. So I just found it easier to have a desk job for sure. And then as far as changing your schedule according to your classes, that's very important as well. So like, my friend Taylor works at Nike, so she worked at Nike pretty much the whole program. And so she had to be flexible with both schedules, just to make sure they're not overlapping, making sure she's not burning herself out and things like that. Because I'm like, she's still at Nike now, so she's still working that out now. But it's very helpful to have a job, just money wise. I just like to spend money, so that's why I got a job, because I like to spend money. I prefer to have money to do whatever I want to do whenever I want to do it. So I got a job. However, if you go back and look at my video about loans, then you'll see that you are able to get away with not having a job. If you don't want a job, feel free to just, budget your money out accordingly so that you don't have to worry about having a job. It's completely up to you. But working and going to school is hard, yes. Possible, very much so. Just don't burn yourself out. Always remember, put yourself first and do not burn yourself out. Nothing is worth burning yourself out. School is already a lot. especially chiropractic school, is already going to take a lot out of you. If you are already tired as crap, don't get a job. Take that weekend to sleep. There's nothing wrong with taking the time to sleep. Water yourself, because the chances of you getting enough sleep during the week are low. Let me be honest, very low. I didn't get that great of sleep during this program, and it is what it is. I had a lot to learn. It's a lot of classes. It's a lot of credit hours. It's just a lot. And so definitely put yourself first. If you can't see yourself getting a job and going to school, don't do it. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, I didn't do it in undergrad. Made it out perfectly fine alive and everything. If I needed, like if I had to get a refund check, they would have gave me one, but it's neither here nor there. So you have any other questions about like working or going to school, like anything in particular about like the whole situation, feel free to ask me, of course. Feel free to comment below this video or hit me up on Instagram. I'm always available to answer my Instagram. So at ThatChiroChick, go ahead and hit me up, follow me. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you might have. But other than that, I will see you guys in our next video. So happy to be back. Love you guys. Bye.